Well, let's move on to our quick-fire discussions on the other stories of the day. First of all, the House of Lords has ruled today that 18-hour home curfews used by the government to curb the movement of terrorism suspects breach the human rights of liberty. They decided, however, that 12-hour curfews would be permitted. The Home Office expressed relief that control orders were not ruled entirely unlawful. Shami Chakrabarti, director of civil rights group Liberty, said the ruling would not completely satisfy her group and pledged to take the fight to the European Court of Human Rights. So, is there much difference, Peter, with the human rights issue, whether it's 18 hours or 12 hours?
It does seem like dancing on the head of a pin, doesn't it? I mean, the issue is really about whether or not these control orders should be in place at all. And so I look forward to Shama Chakrabarti taking it to the European Court of Human Rights and seeing what the outcome is.
And what side would you like to see it fall on?
I think we're in real difficulties in the way in which we all accept that our security is vitally important. The way in which we've gone about seeking to reassure the public is something which is highly controversial, and in the context of these people who are being held under the control orders, there's a genuine question in the minds of many people as to whether or not this is an appropriate way of providing that sense of security. I personally don't think it is, and I think that our government is making a mistake in pandering to that sense that you have to legislate and you have to lock up in effect without trial, people who are alleged to be a threat to our society, and I think that our democracy is the poorer for it.
David, would you agree with that?
I think I probably do in some ways, which is rather strange, really, actually. I suppose I think, well, haven't we got room in prisons we could all shove them? Would be
well, they're
one
suspects.
thing.
You can't. We're going to go back to the days of the IRA.
The police just make things up anyway. So I don't really know what I think. I think it sounds as though the government doesn't really know whether it really wants to fight for this one. And I suspect that means they probably think they've got it wrong. I mean, there is something intrinsically horrible about the thought that just because someone thinks that you might have done something wrong, that, right, that's 18 you're basically under house arrest. I mean, I think that is intrinsically wrong in our society. Our security services, police, in other words, should be better at their job. Sort it out, and if they are guilty, whack them away.
Absolutely.
I mean, Ollie, I think I was reading earlier that something like there's currently 27 orders and about 7 or something of these people have just disappeared anyway. So it seems that they're completely ineffectual.
You've stolen my thunder. I was about to say, yeah, you're absolutely right. I was going to say whether you endorse them or not. The fact that in principle, the fact is in practice, they ain't working. And it's pretty worrying, isn't it? That, as you say, 27 control orders, 7 people have absconded. And these people are under these very severe orders, which are diktats from the Home Office, from the Home Secretary, because they are a threat to society. I mean, can we get this right, please? I mean, if we're going to have control orders, they need to be subject to constant review by Parliament. And the fact is, I think most people agree that we shouldn't have them at all. We should do other things like have phone tap evidence and look at other slightly more creative ways of actually being able to prosecute people through the courts.
Well, a survey for the Scottish Centre for Social Research has found that support for Scottish independence has fallen to its lowest level in 10 years, despite the Scottish National Party's historic election victory in May. Less than a quarter